Hey, Picks and Parlay family, it's me, Detroit Lenny, here with another Power Hour for you. We are going to talk all kinds of stuff football. We got a bunch of bowls coming up. We got we're going to talk the Music City Bowl, Iowa, Kentucky. We're going to talk the Wildcats Bowl. I'm not saying that right. I'm sorry. Mississippi State at Illinois. And we're going to talk the Sugar Bowl, Alabama, Kansas State. We also have some NFL to go over. We got an NFL two-team parlay. We got a rapid fire for you. We got Jets, Seahawks, all kinds of stuff. So before we get into that, I want to tell everybody about NoHouseAdvantage.com. Check them out as well. No House Advantage, changing the game, offering the most dynamic sports platform for fantasy bettors out there available today. All you got to do, download the app, or you go right to NoHouseAdvantage.com. Use the promo code PNP. That'll get you first deposit match up to $50 when you sign up with them. All right, let's get into it without further ado. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Chip Chirimbus. How we doing, Chip?
Just wonderful. I love this bowl season, except for the fact that we don't even know who's playing for these teams anymore.
No, half the time we don't. Before we get into this Music City Bowl, I got to remind everybody about our Power Hour promo. Text your full name to this number, 775-403-5400. Get a 3-day expert pass for only $29. All right, Iowa's -2.5. Versus Kentucky here. Music City Bowl in Tennessee. Over under is a whopping 31. What do you got for us, Chip?
I think that number is absolutely absurd. 31 and a half in around there for a total, unless there's a total ice storm there. But there's a good reason for it. Not only does Iowa have one of the most inopportune and inadequate offenses, averaging 17.4 points a game, they only gave up 14.4 points a game. But their first two quarterbacks are both gone. Not that they were so effective during the entire season. So I have a guy under center this week that hasn't taken a snap the entire year. And, both these teams are offensively challenged. Iowa and Kentucky played last year in this, Citrus Bowl. And I think the final was 20-17. Kentucky won, but Iowa dominated the play. This year, Will Lewis is out for Kentucky. Like I said, their offense was challenged. Chris Rodriguez, their best running back, over 1,000 yards gained on a year. He's defected. He's not going to be playing. So most of the offensive weapons for Kentucky is down. Iowa never had any offensive weapons, and even their starting quarterback, who was horrid, is gone. That may be a step up for them. The Hawkeyes, I think, may have a little revenge on their mind here, but defensively, they're only allowing 277 yards a game. Offensively, they're only putting up 252 yards. Lenny, I don't see this game doing anything but staying under the total. Iowa's 7-0 in non-conference games. Kentucky 6-0 on grass. These are all to the under, by the way, and 13-3 overall. Kentucky to the under, though they are 8-3 on neutral sites. This is a neutral site, of course, but I think the trend is overwhelming for this game to stay under the total, and I think the odds maker is giving you that with that number, the absurd number, 31.5, 30 in around there. You're talking about 4 touchdowns, one each quarter, and 1 field goal, and they don't expect that to happen. I play this game under the total because of the number is so absurd to me.
There you go. Under it is, and sometimes when these numbers get real low like this in the 30s, like low 30s like this, my automatic gut reaction is that they can accidentally get over 31. Yeah. But with these two games, and especially the way Iowa's played football all year long. Yeah. I don't hate this play. It's not my favorite, but neither one of this game is not my favorite.
It's like one of the all ugly games for sure. I mean,
it's
a matchup from last year that was boring as hell. It was 20-17, and these teams have absolutely no flair, no flash. There's no spark or stars out there that are going to make an exploding play. I just don't see it happening. Iowa defense is excellent. It's kept them in the game in all season long, but they have no offense whatsoever. So this game would probably be 51-50, but it looks like it's supposed to stay under.
That being said, we're on the under 31 here. Yeah. Don't forget, when you guys like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Power Hours brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern as well. And now let's get into this game. This game, I think there could be a little bit more of some flair here. Mississippi State -1.5 in the Wildcats Bowl. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. They're just making stuff up now. Yeah. I think Detroit Lenny and Chip Chirimbus should have their own bowl. This is played Monday, January 2nd. Mississippi State -1.5 versus Illinois.
All right,
over under 46. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. A lot of
No.
storylines behind this game with Mike Leach passing and everything else along those lines. But the best thing about this game is that it's on Monday. So you'll be able to use my Saturday game of the year money from the Georgia-Ohio State game and double it up right here on this game on Monday. And we're going to roll this thing over for the entire week. But anyway, getting serious here. Mississippi State, of course, lost their head coach. They're 8-4 on the season. They've had 10 players now that have moved and are not going to be playing in this game that were starters. But it still should be a very emotional game for this Mississippi State team. You know, what was it called? The air raid or whatever Mike Leach would call it. He was averaging 313 yards a game through the air, almost 33 points a game. They've gone over 4 out of 5 times they played on neutral sites. And Illinois is just the opposite. Illinois is based on defense. Number 1 scoring defense in the country this year, 12.3 points. That's hard to get past. But there's been a lot of defections from the Illini, but not necessarily from the players. They've lost 3 coaches. Their defensive coordinator's gone. He went to Purdue. They have 2 all-star defensive all-conference backs that are not going to be in this game. And their defense has only given up 296 yards a game. But, you know, I think their defense has been weakened by the coaching, by the defections. Mississippi State is going to put the ball in the air no matter what. And I think they're going to do it in a tribute for Leach. I don't know necessarily if they're going to score or win the game, but I think this game goes over the total. Illinois has gone 9-2-1 to the over against teams with winning records. And this is a defensive team. And they're 11-4 to the over overall. I see this game going over the total because it's an anomaly with defense, with Illinois losing so many players on the defensive side. I think the Bulldogs will be able to put up some points. I don't know emotionally how these teams are going to play. Everyone's expecting the Bulldogs, Mississippi State to get up and be ready and win one for Mike Leach. But it always doesn't work out that way. You know, sometimes it drains out of you, you know. So
I mean, the flip side of that is Illinois doesn't want to give up that storybook Disney movie. Yeah. You know, on this I mean, they come into play. The kids that are there are coming to play. So I kind of dig the under or the over here in this matchup. I do like this. It's, again, some of these college bowls with the transfer portal and all this, I mean, you don't know who's coming and going at half the time and all that. So tread lightly. That's my thing.
I agree.
You know, and don't forget, when you're over at Picks and Parlays and you're looking for any of our handicappers, their premium handicappers, text your full name to this number, 775-403-5400. You get a 3-day pass from any of our experts for $29. So, I mean, there's some value there. Like, subscribe, ring that bell for notification. We are here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to move into the NFL now. Let's talk Jets at Seattle, over under 42.5, minus 1.5 on the Jets side. Like I said, don't forget, 3-day pass, $29 if you text your full name, 775-403-5400. Talk to me about the Jets in Seattle.
Well, you know, 6 weeks ago, both these teams looked like they were on a fast track to the playoffs. Yeah. And since then, both of them have gone 1-5. And so whoever loses this game, I think, is definitely out. I think the Jets have a 15% chance right now to get to the playoffs, according to those crazy stats they delivered. And Seattle, like a 27% chance. But Seattle's lost 3 straight at home. And they've got Geno Smith. This is going to be a great reunion. Quite a white, Lenny. This is going to be a great reunion for Geno Smith to play against the Jets. I don't know if you remember, Mike White is now going to be starting, by the way, after a 2-game absence because of broken ribs or fractured, whatever it is. But Geno Smith's last appearance with the Jets, he was quarterbacking, and a lot of turmoil there. He had to be ousted. He was a starting quarterback, lost in a $600 to a teammate in a card game on a plane, and refused to pay the teammate the money, and got into a brawl where Geno Smith sucker punched his teammate, and he owed him $600. So he was jettisoned out of New York. The Jets have had an 11-year drought not making it to the playoffs. Number 3 defense. Their offense has been horrid. Number 3 defense in the league, only giving up 309 yards a game. But Geno has been able to put up a lot of points for this Seattle team. He really has. But they are not quite the same, Lenny, unless they've got Kenneth Walker playing and running at full steam. He is a catalyst for their offense, running the game. It opens up. He's a beast. And he's been hurt the last 5-6 games. And he's from your area. You know, came out of Michigan State, and I really like that kid. Sure. The Jets are 0-4 lifetime at Seattle. And Seattle is 0-6 in their last 6 overall against the number. I mean, this is an ugly side. Other than that, with Mike White there, the Jets seem to have a much more prolific offense, and Geno Smith's been putting points on the board. Kenneth Walker's coming back. I think this game goes over the total. I think in Seattle, I can see Geno putting up some points, and I know Mike White's going to put up points because he's been very efficient. People are making fun of the Jets' Mike White because they don't have any idea who he is, but he's better than anything else they got. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I like the over, and I like the Jets. I like both sides here. I need the Jets to eliminate the or make Seattle lose there so the Lions can backdoor into a playoff possibly, but I don't know. That's my reasoning. So don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hours are brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Take care, Chip. I appreciate you stopping by, my friend.
Thank you, Len. Appreciate it.
Take care. I'll see you on the next one. All right, guys. Now we still have to go over Alabama versus Kansas State, and we got an NFL 2-team parlay and an NFL rapid fire. So we're going to bring in Terry Edelman to talk some Alabama Crimson Tide, Kansas State, and the All-State Sugar Bowl. Talk about a bowl and a half. Don't forget to text your full name. This number, 775-403-5400. Get your 3-day expert pass for only $29. Talk to me about this Sugar Bowl, will you?
Yeah, this is a tough game. This is a tough game. Looking at it though, Alabama's a better team. I think they're the better team in pretty much all areas of the ball. I don't overly love the 6.5 number, but I think they probably win this game by approximately 10 points, 7 to 10 points. So I think it'll be close, but I think they're the better team here. Kansas State, obviously put up a great effort in their win last week or in their last game, but I think Alabama's is the right side here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm going to pull this graphic up here. I'm all over Alabama here. I think both games they lost, they were really in it overtime or, last second type stuff. Losing to LSU 32-31 in overtime. I think Alabama's the favorite for a reason here. This game is in Louisiana. New Orleans, so it's kind of closer to Alabama than it is Kansas State. I don't know how many Kansas State fans will travel. Alabama is one of those teams that it's next man up constantly. So if they've lost some people to the transfer portal or anything like that, I don't think it really matters. I think Alabama rolls here. So I'm on your side here, Terry Edelman. There's something we can't say every day. All right. Alabama Crimson Tide minus 6.5. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Power Hours brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, we are going to move into the NFL. We got an NFL 2-team parlay for you guys. Before we do that, I got to tell everybody, text your full name to this number, 775-403-5400. Get a 3-day expert pass for only $29. All you got to do is do that. Bing, bing, pow. It's easy. All right, first leg of your parlay, Jacksonville Jaguars. Making some noise in the NFL against the Houston Texans. They're just lonely. They're bad. Over-under is 43.5. Where are you going with this one? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so Jacksonville's actually lost 9 straight games to Houston, going back quite a few years. Yeah. For some reason, Houston has had Jacksonville's number. But we saw another streak, Cleveland and Cincinnati. Cleveland had dominated Cincinnati for years. They won the first meeting of the year, but then Cincinnati handled them in the second game. I think we get the same situation here. Texans, their one win was against Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. So they have played Jacksonville so well. But this Jaguars team is different. I totally believe. I hate to admit, I don't hate to admit when I'm wrong. I do admit when I'm wrong, but if you watch my preseason show I did with Nick and some others, I was very high in Tennessee to win the division. I had no faith in the Indianapolis Colts whatsoever. I thought it was Tennessee's division to lose. And for most of the season, I was looking right on. But something happened with this Titans team, this Jaguars team. They smell blood in the water. Obviously, next week is the big game against Tennessee. But Peterson, Jacksonville's coach said they're not taking it easy this game. They're not going to basically do what the Titans did and punt their last game, scratching Henry and stuff. And I think this is a good spot for Jacksonville. I don't know if they cover. I don't know if they completely blow out Houston. That's why for the 2-team parlay, I'm taking them on the money line. I do think they win this week, and I do think they win next week as well. Most likely that will be a play up on the site for me as well next week.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I like Jacksonville on this. I think they split this series. These two teams always play each other tough. The 4 worries me. I'll probably have this in a parlay as well, which is Jacksonville on the money line here. I think they have more to play for than obviously Houston does. Houston, they win this game, they're in jeopardy of losing the first-round pick. Not that they're really playing for that per se, but they might.
They've kept games close. That's the one thing about Houston is their record is obviously so awful.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And I think whether they pick first or second, they still get the quarterback they're going to want. So, in my opinion, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all basically I had to say.
Okay, let's move into the second leg of the parlay. Panthers at Tampa Bay, -3.5 Tampa Bay Bucks. Over under is 40.5. It's another team or another matchup that these two teams tend to play really close. But talk to me about this one. Where are you going?
Yeah, this game matters a lot.
Yeah,
to both teams. Surprisingly, at this stage, I don't think most people at this point or preseason would thought that this week that this game would matter so much for both of these teams. But it does. For me here, Carolina's played well. They have. Obviously, I did not expect their huge win last week. But this is Brady. He's still Brady, even though he's had a rough go this season. He's still Tom Brady. This is the game where I think he pulls out the win for his team and shows that he's not quite done yet. He's still got a little bit left in the tank. So I think we get a game from Brady here, and he pulls the Buccaneers to the win. Definitely not taking -4. These two games were perfect for me when I was looking at because I want to back both of these teams, but I will not back either of these teams on the spread. Because of how they played. I could easily see this being a weird 2-point game.
I was going to say, if this is on the right side of 3, 2.5, I might look at the spreads for both of these, for Tampa and Jacksonville. But because they're on the wrong side of 3, I'm looking at a money line.
Yeah, and if you parlay these two together, you get a +135.
Plus 135, 140, depending on your book. We're going to, listen, everybody shop your lines. You might get 195 instead of 2. You might get 200 instead of 180. Whatever. Shop your lines, but parlay together, that's about 135-ish, give or take. I like this, Terry Edelman. I like this a lot. So it'll probably make a card. So let's get on that. Guys, don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hours brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, Terry Edelman, we got to kick you on out of here, and we're going to do an NFL rapid fire with your buddy, Nick Earl. Oh, please.
Sounds good.
Wish me luck. All right, take care. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
All right, let's start this Power Hour thing, or rapid fire thing, I should say. Let's bring in Nick Earl, who had some technical difficulties on Wednesday. Yes, take 2 on Wednesday with Hannah Mears to do this NFL rapid fire. But don't worry, never fear. We're still here. It's Friday, and we are going to talk NFL rapid fire, 5 games, 5 minutes-ish. Don't forget about our promo. Last time I'm going to tell you about it. Text your full name to this number, 775-403-5400. You get a 3-day extra pass for $29. All you got to do is text the number. All right, Nick, let's start. First game. Turn my head around, get ready for this. Okay, first game. You ready?
Let's do this.
Vikings Packers. Next game. No, I'm just kidding. Take it away.
Yeah, looking at this spot for me, I am on the Packers -3 in this game. There's a few things that definitely came to note in this one. Green Bay is really strong at home, especially later in the season. Lambeau Field is truly one of the better home field advantages in the NFL. Also, I saw a stat earlier today that really opened up my eyes. This is the 10th time in the last 20 years that we have a team that is under 500 favored versus a team that has a win percentage of 800 or higher. Those teams, when a team that's under 500's favored over a team with that type of record,
right?
Previous 9 games, the favorites 9-0 and 8-0-1 against the spread. So they're favorited for a reason in these games, and this is one of those spots where the question is, how much do the Vikings truly care? They've locked up the division, and they're not really going to move up and down for seeding as well. So this is a spot here where the Packers are pushing to make the playoffs potentially as well. Maybe look towards playoff futures with this team because they may squeak into that 7th seed. But yeah, I do like the Packers in this spot. They're playing great football right now, and look for Aaron Rodgers to try to squeak his way through the playoffs here. So give me the Packers here, -3.
I will. Yeah, I 100% am okay with this. I just think the Vikings are going to try and. I think their focus from here on out is not losing in the first round of the playoffs. That's their focus, which should be their focus. Meanwhile, Green Bay is going to backdoor their way in, and Aaron Rodgers and the San Francisco 49ers will be playing in the NFC Championship game, and I'll hate life. So moving on to the next game. Steelers at the Ravens, -2, over-unders 35. Where are you going with this one?
Yeah, this is one where I think this line's about right. The 2.5 is about right. I think I had the Ravens as a 3-point favorite in this game. I'm looking more at the total than the side in this game, and it's a primetime game. It's a divisional game, especially NFC North here. Those games generally go under the total. I get it. It's a really low total in this game, but I'm looking more toward the under in this game more than a side in this spot. This is just two defenses that I think can really stifle the offenses of the opposite side. And I don't really trust whatever quarterback Baltimore has right now to put up any
whoever they're
points
throwing
because,
at it.
I mean, whoever they have out there is not getting the job done. And Pittsburgh could be a sneaky dog down the stretch here. So I was a little bit higher on Pittsburgh heading into the year. They definitely injuries has really killed that team. But yeah, I think that both these defenses are still really strong. It's going to be one of those grindy NFC or AFC North type of games where this game finishes 17-13.
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh and I like the under. That's gonna make it on a card for me for sure. Let's talk about Magic Mike White going to Seattle, take on Gangster Gino, according to Chip Chirimbus. Jets are -1.5 at Seattle. Over under is 42.5. Does Magic Mike White have enough to get it done in Seattle?
Well, I'm definitely glad for people who are looking to back the Jets this week that you're going to see Mike White rather than Zach Wilson, because Zach Wilson, I don't know if he's an NFL quarterback at this point. Not even a backup. I don't know if he should be on a roster. Send him up to the CFL if anything, maybe, or USFL. But yeah, he's for him. If I'm going to look to back the Jets now. If it was going to be Zach Wilson, this was going to be an easy under spot for me. Maybe we'll look towards the Seahawks. With Mike White, I'm more interested in the Jets here. You're laying a small price, but this is a do or die game for the Jets. It's also a do or die game for the Seahawks. I'm not very high on the Seahawks. The Seahawks have fallen apart the last month and a half, and this team is beginning to play like what we expected them to be in the beginning of the season. So I'm looking towards the Jets here. And the NFL is going to want the Jets to win here and set up a potential flex spot where you flex the Dolphins and the Jets for that last playoff spot. That's kind of what you're going to be looking. They're going to hoping for next week.
We could have a multiple flex spot because if Green Bay and Detroit,
Lions and Packers,
for that 7th spot. So in Green Bay, God, Lord help us.
Yeah,
I know. So Nick's taking the Jets money line. I'm
very iffy on this game. This is not my strongest play.
It's not the favorite, but it needs to be done. One of these teams got to snap their losing streak. One's lost 3 in a row. One's lost 4 in a row. Somebody's got to win, or
a tie.
That went screw everything up. God help us. Colts at the Giants. Everybody gave me crap when I put this on the rapid fire, and I'm telling you right now, this game matters. Colts at the Giants. Giants -5.5. Over unders 39. Speaking of another team in disarray, the Indianapolis Colts. This ain't Saturday, Jeff Saturday. This is Sunday. This shit matters. Talk to me about this game.
Yeah, this game definitely has a lot on the line for the home team in this spot. I don't trust the Giants to win by a touchdown, though. This is not a team that I don't think we can trust to win by margin. This is still a rebuilding team. And what a rebuild year it would be if they can win this football game and clinch a spot in the playoffs. That's a great rebuilding year, if I had to say so myself. But I'm speaking as a fan there. I lean Colts in points if I had to take a side in this game, though. At 5.5, I don't lay 5.5 points. Like, that's one of those lines where I am absolutely – no. But looking at what we have in this game, if it's Nick Foles or if it's Matt Ryan or if it's – this Colts offense does nothing. And we've seen the last few weeks this Giants defense is legit. They got some good young talent on there. Kayvon Thibodeau has really gone into the zone there and on that defense. He's showing why he was a top 10 pick. I think the Giants are able to slow down what is a non-existent Colts offense, a team that I was way wrong on the beginning of the year. But everyone may be wrong when the Jaguars potentially win that division. So it is what it is. But yeah, it would be Colts or nothing for the side because I had this game more around a 2.5, 3. So if I had to play a side, it's the Colts in this game taking the points. More interested in the under in this game, though. I think it's a lower scoring line.
I definitely love the under. Don't want nothing to do with either side. Don't trust either offense at all. Giants defense, I think, shuts down the Colts for sure. You mentioned Kayvon Thibodeau. He is really coming into his own. I think the game is starting to slow down. And sometimes that game for those rookies, it's at a faster pace. Everybody talks about it. Every player says the game is just so much faster at the NFL level. I think the game is starting to slow down for him. And I think he's really coming into his own as far as that goes. Now, for the marquee matchup of the week, obviously, Bears, Lions in Detroit. Lions -6. Let's just let that sink in for a minute. The Bears, possible tank situation for the first overall pick. Over/under is 52. The Lions defense, they couldn't stop me running the ball last week. Are they able to stop anybody now? I don't know what's going on. I got nothing for this game.
And that last week, that was Tim and I's best bet was on the Carolina Panthers. That was our favorite play of the week. Was that in that matchup, and that line told you everything you needed to know as everybody was on the Lions, but as you got closer to that game, it went from 2.5 to 2 to 1.5. Right. So, but looking at this spot here, let this sink in. The Lions are almost a touchdown favorite, and it's not enough. My number said there should have been 7.5 point favorites in this game, and that's what I'm going to be looking at with this one. Yeah, I trust the offense for the Lions to be able to put up points against this porous Bears defense. I would love to take an under in this game if any of these two teams knew what defense was, because it is a divisional matchup. So that kind of checks into one of my systems that I like to bet unders with. But I can't touch this one for an under, even at 52, which that's another system I like to look at with unders is totals over 50. Because generally speaking, scoring is lower this year. Unders have been really good. Underdogs, ATS have been really good this year. But I'm looking at the favorite in this matchup here. I like the Lions -6. To set up a potential matchup where win and you get the 7 seed with the Packers next week. So
yeah, it's a win and in thing. It's 100%. Lions average 26.1 points a game. They give up 26.7. Bears give up 26.2. They only average 20. Last time they played in Chicago, it was 31-30. I think the Lions score 30. And I think the Bears can get you to 20-something. I like this over. I do like the Lions I think after last week, and only because it's at home. And I'm telling you what, I feel every one of you Lions fans in my soul. If you had one game to go to, this is it, because you have to win to put yourself in everything we've always wanted. We always play Green Bay at the end of the year, and I know I'm on a 30-second rant, 30 seconds or less. We always play Green Bay at the end of the year in Green Bay, and every year it's always us trying to upset Green Bay. Well, now we're in a spot that Green Bay could possibly upset our playoff chances.
Well, both your chances could be on the next week.
Exactly. Let's go. Sunday night football.
And also for what it's worth, on my power rankings, I have the Bears as the lowest team in the league.
Tim, you can go away now.
No, against the worst team in football, they absolutely should be 6-point favorites. They should be higher.
Yeah, I mean, it is. They should be more than 6 points, in my opinion. But that's our Power Hour. Otherwise, I'm going to rant forever. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hours Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate each and every one of you. Guys, we'll see you in Monday, 2023. Be safe. Have a safe, happy holiday. Take care, guys. Good luck.